Dave, stop. I've still got the greatest enthusiasm and confidence in the mission, and I want to help you.
I've never told anyone like the secret sauce for it. I use DaVinci Resolve. I'll do auto scene detection. It will find every edit point and create a cut. And I pick what I consider the best frame, the poster frame. It's the meat of the shot or that iconic thing. And then I have this representation of a film with all its individual components. I can see color palettes. I can see editing pace, tempo. I can see so much. That bird's eye view of being able to poke around in the innards. Why does this scene work so well? And see what the other editors have decided and what the other directors did to make something successful.
He's the guy who made a video essay on the center framing in Mad Max Fury Road. He's the guy who consulted on the editing workflow of Gone Girl,
Killing your wife, Nick.
and Deadpool. He's also the guy that cut 11 Hollywood films, including the classic Sharknado 2. Inducted in 2018 by the American Cinema Editor Society, Vashi Nedomansky, A.C.E. is the guy who created the 7 commandments to become a better editor. Hello?
Hey, we got disconnected.
Yeah, that's weird.
Weird.
You're still rolling, right?
I'm still rolling. I didn't
Okay,
cut.
so shouldn't be a problem. Alright, so number 1 is watch every frame of raw footage at least twice, then start.
I think the only way to become comfortable with the footage is to watch it. I'll sit there for 4 hours, watch it at real time. None of this 2 times shit. The first time is literally just a visceral experience, just to let it wash over you. Second time, I'll make notes and markers and pay attention more to everything else. You have to live that footage before you can start editing. If you just go to circle takes and start building a scene, you're doing a huge disservice not only to yourself, but to the film, to the director, to the actors, to everyone.
The big thing is, and what I find a lot of beginning editors do, they see one thing and they're like, oh, I know how to cut the scene. And they start working on it.
Yeah.
And they're sort of then just cutting themselves into a corner.
I agree completely. I mean, I feel getting there and becoming so familiar with everything is the only way I can approach a scene.
Go on, you cut more, baby. You know, work it more. How can you improve the film? Improve the film.
Nurture the relationship with a director. It's sacred.
It's literally an editor and a director in a room for 6 months, 9 months, 10 months, together all day long.
He is a magician because he hypnotizes you into nothing else matters, and he gets it done.
You have to be positive. Like, if you're negative, then the director's going to be negative. Then the focus changes from working on the story to why is my editor being grumpy? What the fuck's going on?
All right, you do it then.
Take a step back.
You have to assume the role of that secondary person in the relationship and try and find solutions and offer up different ways to look at it. Being calm, being soothing, make it a place the director wants to be in. You just have to create like a little nest for the two of you to work in. And the sooner you could learn that, then the longer I think your career will be.
What are some specifics that a beginning editor can do to like start off on a good note with a director?
Get the intent of the film early. If you're meeting with the director, even if you're just doing a short film, get reference points. Say, what kind of films are you going for? Like, what kind of tone? So if the director's like, I want it to be like Heat, I want it to be really, broody and cinematic and huge, that's great. You know what that is. If they say, I want it to be like French Connection, I just want it to be gritty, handheld, grimy,
Yep.
That's a whole nother set of notes.
It does happen that they bring up certain movies, and if I haven't seen them, I just sort of quietly write them down.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure that the next time I better have seen that movie, because that's the language that the director is using.
It's like a scene from that one movie. Always forget the name of it. With Meg Ryan.
Yes.
I don't remember a movie where Meg Ryan meets a guy with poison ivy up his ass.
I'll think of it.
Find any shot instantly. Organization is paramount.
Oh, God. This is the one thing that I've seen with young editors. Organizing your workflow and your system so you can literally find any shot at any second. When the director comes in, they say,
Yeah, run reel 10 again. I think we're duplicating a shot here.
you got to have like 2 clicks and you're there. All this work about organization, all this talk about it is all done at the beginning, and all that time spent early will save you, especially on a feature film when you're dealing with hundreds of hours of footage.
Yep.
you're going to be fatigued, you're going to be tired. So you have to have the system that even when you're exhausted, you can get there and find something and show it right away. Directors hate to wait when you're looking for clips. They're like, nope, that's not the shot. And you're like, I know, I'm just trying to get to the area. Then you're not organized.
One of these days, I'm gonna get organized.
You mean organized?
Number 4, factor in extra time for renders, exports, errors, and crashes.
As an editor, there are certain things that are out of your hands that you can't plan for. And when people say, oh, I need this by whatever, this time, and you think the render is going to be an hour.
Yeah, I've got time.
Sometimes you have to stop early and get the thing going earlier than you expect because you have to plan for some kind of mess up.
Expect the unexpected.
I remember once for the documentary, I had to send a Blu-ray to South by Southwest. So I'm burning the Blu-ray and I just quickly scanned it. I made sure the menu came up and then I FedExed it overnight. The next day, the director's like, yeah, fired up the Blu-ray, the menu comes on, but the main feature doesn't play. And they had to show like the previous version. And I absolutely goat fucked the screening. And that's on me. And as a professional, I just wanted to disappear forever. That's fireable.
We fucked up.
That's a fireable offense. You can try and explain yourself and you'll just hear,
you're fired.
So you have to say earlier in the day, I'm gonna be done. At noon, I'm stopping editing and I'm starting the exports, the renders, all the other stuff.
All right, number 5. Attempt edits that shouldn't work. You'll be surprised.
You know when they say it's so crazy it just might work?
As an editor, you have all the footage, you're cutting stuff, you're making your decisions, you feel like you're driving the bus, you're the
king in the castle, king in the castle.
No one knows it better than you, right? I've tried every way to do this. I've done this, I've cut the scene 6 ways. There's no way it could be any better. Wrong.
27 Apple, take 2. Action.
You can't look at 2 shots and understand what they mean together.
Why the pout?
Would that it were so simple.
Cut.
Everything is adjustable, everything is changeable, everything is malleable, end up being much better than what I had. And until you physically do it and see it and watch it, you won't know.
Why the pout?
And I'm constantly surprised.
It's complicated.
By things that should not work end up being much better than what I had.
When you set out to make a movie, it doesn't happen exactly the way you have it in your head. There is this exploration, there is this evolution, there's this unfolding or revealing of the material.
I'm left-handed. My teachers tried to make me when I was a kid, but I couldn't.
Spend more time on audio. It's the glue of your edit.
Oh my God, this is so awesome. I worked with Billy Fox, and he takes his middle monitor. It's only the timeline. And at the top, he has 3 tracks of video, and underneath, 36 tracks of audio. It's a cliche by now, but audio saves everything. And I'm not talking about putting needle drops or songs to cover stuff. I'm talking about having a immersive, fluid, seamless audio underneath the picture. Even the simplest thing of having the dissolves on all the lines of dialogue, so there's no clicks or pops. What I do is I apply, a 2-frame cross dissolve on the front and back of every clip. It's so minor. It's like 1 frame, click. But that's all you'll hear in the room.
Yep. It's something I learned the hard way because I was working on a TV show with 7 editors, and every time you deliver a cut and there's a click or a pop in there, that means you have to pay drinks that night.
He's buying. Yeah.
Absolutely. When I was playing professional hockey, there's 23 guys in the bus, and the bus leaves at 6 a.m. If you come down at 6:04, the bus does not wait for you. And on top of that, you're buying dinner for the team. They literally get the menu, they go to the waiter, just bring me the most expensive item on this menu. They don't even care what it is. They just want to bury you and teach you a lesson. And then you're never late for that 6 o'clock bus ever again.
All right, last one, number 7. Cut for the scene, but always in context to the whole film.
You have to have a macro and a micro view of the whole film at all times. So when I'm cutting the scene, I'm focused on the scene, but in the back of my head, I'm always thinking, how is this laying in the story compared to everything that's happening before or after? And I know that every edit affects the whole film. What I'm focusing on 2 shots, and then adding a 3rd shot and a 4th shot, I'm making sure that works for me, but I'm also saying, is the tone of this scene completely out of whack with everything else in this picture?
What are these fucking iguanas doing on my coffee table?
So it's bird's eye view, and then also zoomed in all the way to the microscopic level. And you have to be balancing that at all times and just trying to keep perspective by going micro and macro. But that's the last one. But if you don't advance yourself and become a better editor and a better person every day and a better filmmaker on top of that, then you'll be in it for the short run, but you won't have a long career.
Very cool.
Will you